Hello everyone, you're watching the YouTube station identification of one of the Bedford, Massachusetts resident YouTubers, the dude with the Clooney do, Mr. Eric Lima over here. You are watching WEML-TV channel 77, episode 40 of the show. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It is 1:28 p.m. in the afternoon. There's a lot to get to, a lot of ground to cover. I'm making a few changes in my format of my shows, my episodes of the show, because with my job during the wintertime, it could take a whole lot out of me. And one of the big things is snow removal duty, and we're having a potential winter storm coming up Monday into Tuesday, and it seems like so. But at least it's happening in the beginning of the week. That way, I heard the rest of the weekend is going to be above freezing. We may get a lot of rain in the forecast and all that good stuff. And it's been, but the good news is also that according to what weather.com saying, we may get 1 to 3 or 3 to 5 inches. We may get a little bit more. It all depends on the track of the storms and everything else. And they could be wrong, they could be right. I don't know. Meteorologists are really screwy sometimes. So I'm just really stoked about trying to get through this week. It is February coming up, and also stoked at the fact there's only 48 days left until spring, which is really cool. And I'm not going to bother with the stupid groundhog, even though it's on Tuesday the 2nd, and everything. So that's the thing that everything else. So that's why I decided to do my changing my roundups, the wrestling roundups. I'm going to do it the weekly roundup, and I'll go from Raw to 205 Live and everything else in between. So that way we can we have everything covered up. And for this week, the Royal Rumble is tomorrow. That's what we're going to get to. As far as the first episode of the PTW Wrestling Forecast. Since I've been checking out the weather, which is driving me crazy, I figured I'm going to call it the Wrestling Forecast. I'm the wrestling meteorologist around here, so and I get paid to be. I didn't get paid for this, but anyways. So I'm really excited and stoked about this. Royal Rumble is tomorrow. Just to let you know that I've counted. There were 12 entrants in the Royal Rumble women's matchup. Men's got 17, so that means there are 18 spots left in the women's Royal Rumble match, and there are 13 spots left in the men's Royal Rumble matchup. So that's what also is going to be on the card. As you know, the matches in red, as you see, will be the involving Raw superstars, while the matches in blue involve SmackDown superstars. So, I don't know the kickoff matches as of yet. I'll report those when I get to it. So here's the WWE Championship on the line. Drew McIntyre defends against Bill Goldberg. That'll be a matchup for sure. The Women's Tag Team title on the line as the Raw Women's Champion Asuka teams up with Charlotte to defend those titles against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. The Universal title will be on the line, and the number 10 represents last man standing. That means that whoever doesn't respond at a 10 count loses. So, or whoever remains standing up at the end of a 10 count wins the match. Roman Reigns to defend that Universal title against Kevin Owens. SmackDown Women's title on the line. Sasha Banks, the Boss, defends against Carmella. And there's a backstage match happening tonight. I decided to do this because it has Royal Rumble implications that the winner of this matchup in the women's matchup will enter number 30 in the women's Royal Rumble match. That gives that person a huge advantage. It'll be between second generation, generational superstars. The first third generation lady, Natalya Neidhart, goes up against the second generation star, Tamina Snuka. So, and then you got the men's Royal Rumble match and the women's Royal Rumble matchup. So, you got two matches on the card. Let's start with McIntyre versus Goldberg. Now, this is very interesting. Goldberg's never held a WWE Championship, but he's held the Universal title, the World Heavyweight title, the WCW World Heavyweight title as well. But I'm seeing McIntyre retain somehow because a lot of people don't want to see Goldberg, So McIntyre, I spelled his name wrong. Hold up just a second. Yeah, Drew McIntyre will retain the title. That's my guarantee on that. So I am forecasting that Drew McIntyre, that's my picks to win, PTW Wrestling Forecast, will be Drew McIntyre retain the title. Women's Tag Team Championship will be on the line. I think Asuka and Charlotte will probably start a feud. And that would be, but even though they respect each other, that would be pretty good. So I'm picking For the women's tag team, I think I'm picking Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to win the tag team championship because I don't know how Asuka's going to hold being Raw Women's Champion and all that. The Universal title on the line. Now, somehow, the Usos are going to get involved in this matchup, and Reigns may end up winning it. But if I were Kevin Owens, I would call on Everrise to help him in his battle against the Usos. If the Usos came back, you got the Bloodline, and I like to see Everrise get a huge shot at this, a huge opportunity. Kevin Owens could hook him up. Boom! I think you got it here. Sasha Banks and Carmella. Another title defense for Sasha Banks. I'm picking Sasha Banks to retain the championship unless her sommelier Reginald gets involved somehow, giving Carmella the victory. But I'm picking Banks to retain. Natalya versus Tamina in tonight's backstage matchup. Winner of that match would be the 30th entry. I believe Natalya would be the winner of the match. So I'm picking Natalya. All right, now the men's Royal Rumble matchup. I am picking once again. I think I picked him last time, didn't win. I am going to go. Whoever's going to win this matchup will be Braun Strowman. If Strowman wants a shot at the title, Braun Strowman has sent a message, and I think the men's Royal Rumble match, Strowman will be picking up the victory in my. I think Strowman will fight. I mean, he did have a Universal title shot and won the title at WrestleMania against Goldberg. But I'm picking. I think Strowman's going to win it and try to go after Drew McIntyre. I like to see Strowman and McIntyre lock up. The women's Royal Rumble matchup. This is going to be a tough one to decide. Bianca Belair's on quite a roll, but Bianca Belair's on quite a roll. Charlotte, could she go back to back? Shoot. You know what? You know what would be really, really strange? And I am going to put her name down. I somehow going to pick Alexa Bliss. The way she's been acting quite as of late, that could help her in the Royal Rumble, in the Women's Royal Rumble match itself. I believe somehow Alexa Bliss has got that mind games that she has from The Fiend, and I got a hunch that Alexa Bliss may end up winning the Women's Royal Rumble match. Just saying. Now, rumor has been going around that NXT will not be involved in the Royal Rumble this year because with the pandemic going on and all that, unfortunately, with that pandemic, everything is not, NXT probably wouldn't get involved. Plus, they got the Dusty Cup going, so unless they got the Dusty Cups going on both sides of the tournament, so you won't see any NXT superstars being involved unless that would be the surprise too. That could be it. A lot of people are, but then again, don't believe it. Take it with a grain of salt. We haven't heard much from Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley on NXT, so we're probably thinking that there'll be surprise entrants into in their respective Royal Rumble matchups. Will we see any legendary surprises in the Royal Rumble matchups? From the women's side, I see, a lot of people are saying Melina. They're all wanting Melina. I want to see Melina enter the Royal Rumble match as well. Women's Royal Rumble match, maybe that's a possibility. Like I said, the pandemic is really kind of limited the WWE's resources of trying to entertain us, and that's why I think a lot of people don't understand and don't realize that the pandemic has really limited the WWE. And a lot of people are hating on the WWE, and like I say, blame the pandemic. You can blame the writers all you want and all that, but the writers are probably hands are tied due to this pandemic, and I still think that the government, I don't care who is running things as president, they're still politicizing this virus thing, and that's what hurt Donald Trump in the end. It could hurt Biden in the long run. I'm not so sure. We'll find out for sure. But like I said, the pandemic is really, kind of limited. You get travel restrictions, of course, in the UK as well. You can't get any NXT UK superstars to come here to the States to compete, and vice versa. So it is very difficult, and the WWE is trying to do the best they can, what they got, and everything else. And let's see, another surprise entrant I see in the Women's Royal Rumble match. I'd see Becky Lynch returning, or even Ronda Rousey at this point. I don't know. Will AJ Lee be involved? Will CM Punk be involved? A lot of people are spreading rumors about this. And a lot, we don't know who. We don't know. All I know is a lot of surprises. I can't wait to see tomorrow night who is going to be appearing at the Royal Rumble matches. In that respect, I'm very, very happy to have a Women's Royal Rumble matchup because we can anticipate more surprises. Is NXT going to get involved? I highly doubt it. But, I like to see NXT, but I do like to see NXT get involved. But it's sad that they won't be because of the pandemic and everything else. So, I really don't know. I'm hoping for a lot of legendary returns and some, NXT surprises and all this good stuff. I don't know. We're just going to have to tune in to the Royal Rumble to see if you have if you have the network. Right now, I know the app will probably stop working after March 18th, as you know. So that is, but let's get from my PTW wrestling forecast. That's what I'm going to call it. No longer called picks and predictions, but PTW wrestling forecast. The 2021 Royal Rumble at the Thunderdome in Tropicana Field. WWE title on the line. McIntyre to defend against Goldberg. I picked McIntyre retain. The women's tag title on the line. Asuka and Charlotte to defend against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. I picked Jackson Baszler to win. Universal title in a last man standing matchup. Reigns versus Owens. Reigns is going to somehow retain it. Sasha Banks and Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I think Banks over Carmella. Tonight, backstage number 30 entrant. It will be Natalya versus Tamina. I picked Natalya over Tamina. Men's Royal Rumble matchup. Strowman's going to win. I think Edge could have a shot to winning this thing too, but I think Strowman's come back with a lot of momentum, even though he hasn't wrestled in couple months or so. So Strowman's been looking good. I believe he's going to win it. But then the Women's Royal Rumble match, I'm picking Alexa Bliss to win the thing, and she probably would face Asuka at WrestleMania. So, and that will be that'll be an intense. It all depends on what happens here. Another surprise entrant in the Men's Royal Rumble match, it could be The Fiend, because we have not seen Bray Wyatt in quite some time too. That's going to be another thing. So there are 13 spots left. A lot of them could be surprise appearances. Somebody from NXT or something. Rumor has it that NXT is not going to get involved this year because of the pandemic and all. And plus, NXT UK has been shut down from traveling to the States because of the pandemic. So that's why the pandemic is kind of limited to WWE a little bit. So we'll see what happens, see how smart the WWE plans this. I know it's very frustration. It is frustrations all around. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the Royal Rumble. I'm always curious to see who's going to appear. What's I mean, like, it could be somebody that we didn't expect to jump into the Royal Rumble. Like, we have someone we haven't heard of in quite a while, and like, oh, I remember that dude. I haven't heard from him. I was wondering where he is. It could be. For men's Royal Rumble matchup, I'll give a name out of the blue. Lucky Cannon. Imagine if he's I wonder what's he doing, Lucky, imagine that you're talking to the Royal Rumble, because I wonder what Lucky Cannon's doing. All of a sudden he ends up showing up. Where's he been, that would be really funny. So, who knows for sure. A lot of weird stuff. And they say anything can happen in the WWE, Some could be too far-fetched, Is an AEW. Maxwell Jacob Freeman's appearing in the Royal Rumble. What? What's he doing here? If Impact can invade AEW, AEW can invade WWE. I don't know. But with like I said, the pandemic has really put a damper on a lot of things. So I'm hoping that, once everything gets back to normal, we would have a lot of fun. Like I said, so right now we had to, like I said, WBF thoughts, wrestling, booking, fantasy thoughts. I haven't done a video on that for quite a while. So, yep. So once again, one more time, I'm going to repeat this. 2021 Royal Rumble. This is the card on the left. My PTW forecast, wrestling forecast on the right. McIntyre, Goldberg with a 80% chance of McIntyre retaining. The women's tag team titles, I see a 90% chance of Jackson Baszler winning the belts. Last man standing for the Universal title, I see a good chance of Roman Reigns retains SmackDown Women's Championship. Banks retains. The backstage match happening tonight, Natalya versus Tamina, number 30 entrant for the Women's Royal Rumble match. Natalya could win that. And then Men's Royal Rumble match, Braun Strowman wins it, and then Alexa Bliss wins the Women's Royal Rumble match. Those were my predictions right there. So, and I want to know what your thoughts on this Royal Rumble. Also, we're going to find out who's drawn 1 and 2 for the Men's Royal Rumble matchup. So that will be very interesting, to say the least. You know, that would be very interesting. I remember last year, Brock Lesnar drew number 1 and started tossing 13 guys out. So I thought that would be very interesting. We haven't heard from Keith Lee of whether or not he's probably going to enter the Rumble matchup. So we'll see what happens, you know. Any other member of Retribution besides Mustafa Ali entering the Royal Rumble match? That could be something that... if Retribution is going to be involved, we know the Reckoning, Mia Yim could be involved in the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. Who knows for sure? I mean, last year we had some, a lot of NXT surprises like Xia Li, Io Shirai. No, not Io Shirai. I believe Shotzi Blackheart entered the Royal Rumble. Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox. I can go on. So. Anything's possible. In this case, I heard NXT's not going to get involved this year, but we will find out for sure, because a lot of people spread rumors and they don't think it's true and all that. But I will be looking forward to tomorrow night's Royal Rumble. So, like I said, end of January, I'll probably give my end of January thoughts, because tomorrow's the last day of January, and then we're going to February, and it kicks off with possibly a potential winter storm. And whether or not that, a lot of people are saying, oh, just 3 to 5 inches or 1 to 3. Because a lot of rain's going to be involved as well, so it's something that it's something to be thinking about for the next few days. So it's like Monday into Tuesday. I think it'll be taper up by Tuesday evening. But with the hours being short at the mall and all that, so that could be our cleaning company are trying to budget hours to help the mall out to make sure the mall stays open, and that's going to be a very, very difficult thing. So I'm hoping we got to do this. So it's going to be, like I said, lots of changes happening this year. We will I'll keep you posted, keep you updated on what's going on, and it has been a challenge, but but there's a lot for me to think about, and we'll see. All right, then that's all the time we have. Episode 40 of WEML-TV, Channel 77 is complete. The first ever PTW Wrestling Forecast, Royal Rumble 2021 is complete. I will see you on the next episode, episode 41. We're already off and running, and we will see, okay? Peace, love. Have a great, wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.